There is hope for the future. But there is also history, and in our field, we strongly rely on people who have constructed altogether this history. That's why the European Society for Vocational Designing and Career Counseling has begun last year to give an award for distinguished contributions in our field to senior people in our field who have greatly contributed to the advancement of our science. And it's a particular honor to me today to introduce you the winner of this year's award. You all know him. And there are 10 reasons we have to give him his award. I'm not revealing immediately the name, but you will discover it with the 10 reasons. He was one of the youngest directors of vocational guidance services in Italy in the 70s of last century already. One understands easily these roots, giving force to his everlasting efforts to include parents, teachers, through preventive interventions in educational and vocational guidance of young people since then. It's the first reason. The second reason, he was at the same time a very engaged, actively promoting and struggling colleague for the I'm sorry, I cannot say, for getting people out of the institutions as they existed at the beginning of the last century. We had people in special schools, we had people in asylums, and in the 70s against, he contributed to the famous law 517 in Italy, who made of Italy one of the leading countries in Europe to abandon this segregation of the disabled and putting people away. The second reason. The third reason, at the University of Padova, and it becomes more clear, in the 80s, he continued to develop these ideas by elaborating strong empirical research and evidence-based basis in research on disability, rehabilitation, integration, and decision-making in these fields. Fourth reason, followed at the beginning of the 80s by a first postgraduate teaching on vocational guidance under his direction, he created the Larios Laboratory for Research and Intervention in Vocational Designing and Career Counseling at the University of Padova, and the Center for Research and Services on Disability, Rehabilitation and Inclusion at the University of Padova, which aim at stimulating and developing research in these fields. And now you know, you certainly noticed 2 days ago that Salvatore's engagement for hope, for the future, for inclusion, still is alive and still is very, very present. Fifth reason, He certainly also strongly contributed to the development of our discipline in Italy. He has been the founder of the Italian Journal for Vocational Psychology, has been the editor of 2 book series, one called Percorsi di Orientamento, pathways of orientation. So pathways is an interesting notion, as we just have seen before. And the second on the disability treatment and inclusion issue. 6th reason, in 2000 his work was officially recognized by the high patronage of the President of the Italian Republic for his Magellan project, focusing on vocational guidance activities for high school students in Italy. 7th point, he strongly supported the international collaboration in research in our fields and established fruitful exchanges with leading experts in our fields since the 90s already. In 2006, he integrated the International Life Design Research Group. You just saw him on the picture before. And more recently, he also actively engaged within the NICE network for Innovation in Career Guidance in Europe, to develop common core competencies for the counseling profession all over Europe. 8th reason, in 2008, he got the award for distinguished contributions from the Society of Counseling Psychology, Division 17 of APA. And since 2011, he's a member of the Special Task Group on Globalization within this society. 9th reason, he and his team at Larios and at the University of Padua are marvelous hosts. We all experience this. And for colleagues from all over the world, the brilliantly organized series of conferences in Padua are landmarks. They are really important for our field and have positioned this team as a leading group at the international level through these conferences and publications. And finally, the 10th reason, and for me it is one of the most important. I know Salvatore for many years now. He is fully reliable. He works hard. He is always kind and helpful, and he has a very great heart. He is our friend.